fear the raven. Nevermore, nevermore, don't fear the raven. Oh, nevermore, nevermore, don't fear the raven. Nevermore, nevermore, don't fear the raven. Oh, nevermore, nevermore. None of what you wanted is ever what you need. Fade into darkness.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is once again time to go racing as XCAL goes short track racing at Bristol, baby. It's going to be a great night of short track racing under the lights and more than likely a little bit of chaos out there. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It is Bristol, so we do have quite a bit to talk about. A big night ahead for a lot of drivers. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Sean Andrews. Hey, Sean, I've got to ask, you've had connection problems a lot here lately. Can you overcome them tonight? Have you got it figured out?
I don't know if I've got it figured out, man. I've changed internet providers, I've changed modems, I've had my computer in the shop, so not much I can do about it. It kind of is what it is at this point.
It has been a rough go of it. You managed to survive and make it through most of the races, though, and just holding on to it. How are you feeling about your chances here?
I like Bristol. I hope I get a top 10 out of it tonight.
Well, man, good luck. I'm really hoping your connection does good tonight. Hopefully everything works out. And if it don't, holler at me. I'll see if I can help you.
All right, thanks. Hey, I want to say thanks to XCAL Racing Web Shop, Simbox, and JNS Racing, and Flaming Karma for the paint, keeping the paint open.
Awesome, man. Good luck tonight, Sean.
Thanks.
Sean Andrews obviously trying to overcome some connection issues, but coming into tonight, another driver who was on the pole last week and has a brand new item in the XCAL web shop. Lataro is with us, and we have Jose Gadino here to help with translating. And I have to say, Lataro, man, great poll last week, and now you've got items in the web shop. How are you feeling?
Hey, Lotaro, buena pole position. Tienes nuevos artículos en la loja de XCAL. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Primero que nada, saludar a todos, saludar a Duke, a José, a Matt, que lo veo por ahí, a Nicolás. Y la verdad que vamos en busca de un buen resultado. Y está bueno lo de la web show, nunca lo había visto.
Well, first of all, Lautaro was saying hi to everybody. He's very happy with the results he is having lately.
Well, him and both you, Jose, have been really making yourselves known here in recent weeks, and I know you've got to get ready, but good luck to both of you, and I would expect to see one of you on the podium tonight.
Thanks, man.
Lataro Lamperti, ladies and gentlemen, with Jose Gadino helping with the translation. Really appreciate Jose stepping up and Gerald Poole making that happen. Huge shout out to him for that. Coming into tonight as well, A lot of familiar names, a lot of new names in the field here tonight, but one name we're used to, John Freely. John, how are you feeling about your chances here tonight? Well, it looks like Matt Bear has broke in on John, and Matt, you know, a rough week last week, and I do believe the first time in XCAL history the FCC has muted somebody during their interview because the language was so strong.
Yeah, it wasn't called for. They wouldn't have allowed it either way. I had nothing nice to say to that scumbag. I will not have anything nice to say to that scumbag. That's the second time in about a month and a half that him or Lataro has wrecked me. There will not be a third. And for anybody that wants to say I didn't win this title, you should have came and beat me then. Because guess what? I'm the champion. Either way, whether you like it or not, there's nothing you can do about it. And I do have something to say to Octavio in his own language so he can understand what I'm telling him. Chupo los huevos, tu madre es un punta.
Well, good luck tonight, Matt. Obviously, I do believe you locked the championship after tonight.
Hell yeah, appreciate it, brother.
The Mad Bear, obviously a little bit mad. One driver, though, it was not, at least mad last I heard. Nick, the college kid, seems, although apparently, Nick, there has been some issues. The Seams versus the Gillietts here lately.
Yeah, I remember saying something back in Oxford. I think it was Oxford, the interview. No, it was actually Watkins Glen where I talked trash about the Gillietts. I regret my statements. I knew I messed up at the end of the race. Me and Adam got into it. I knew it just wasn't good for the racing for my part. So I take it all back. Love the Gillietts, but Seams family still on top.
Oh man, I know, expecting a full-on Seams assault next season, and obviously with you up there and the points, Flying Ryan up there in the points, the Seams family definitely knows how to get it done.
Yeah, no need to talk trash about it. We'll just show it with our points.
Oh man, good luck, and honestly, glad you're back at college, but glad you're able to race from the college, man. Good luck tonight, buddy.
Thank you.
Nick, the college kid, seems. Good evening to everybody. Good evening, Kevin. Gerard D. Cash, welcome. Hey, good evening, Danny and Aaron. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just over a minute left to go in warm-up. Just enough time to run to the snack bar, get something to eat, get something to drink while you're standing in line. Make sure you hit that like, follow, share, and subscribe button. And most importantly, hit that share button. Invite your friends and family to come tune in. This one is going to be a wild one. Bristol always is. Hey, good evening, Jared Heasley. A last-minute entry as of last night. And a former Bristol winner is back. Jeremy Leno won the Bristol race last spring, looking to get a fall Bristol win. It was an odd situation that Leto was able to utilize to his advantage, got to victory lane, and now he is back here looking to do it again, showing everybody, hey, it wasn't a fluke, he can get it done. Scott Gilliett is the only Stimulus Racing driver here again as well, and several more updates once the green flag drops. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing from Bristol, baby. Latarl and Purdy and Jim Johnson on the front row. Jim has been away for a while. Great to see him back. Stephen Rex, Gerald Thanos Poole also on the second row. Carlos Ruiz and Albie Ewens on the third row. The Mad Bear and the College Kid on the fourth row. Flying Ryan and Cristiano Roca round out the top 10. Jeremy Leto, the former winner, and Sean Andrews 11th and 12th. Brent Mekas starts in 13th. Jose Godino in 14th. Scott Gilliott in 15th. Bowen Smith in 16th. Joe Campbell starting in 17th. Jeff Edgar in 18th. Derek Colson starts 19th. Jared Heasley in the car in 20th. And the return of Genghis, Alexander Gangler, starting in 21st. If you got a favorite driver in the field, as always, drop in the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for. All the drivers are listening in. They love knowing their fans are watching at home. Haven't seen Jim Johnson in the car here in XCAL in a long time. Great to see him back out on track. And Jim, I just want to say I'm really disappointed you didn't give me a heads up, buddy. Steve Seams, as always, cheering on Flying Ryan and Nick, the College Kid. Drivers one more time around behind the iRacing pace truck. Aaron Hillebush up in the flag stand getting ready for the green. $220 on the line here tonight. Pace truck is in. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away. It's Bristol, baby. Lataro quickly clears traffic, and Stephen Rex on the bottom making a move. Rex also back in the car tonight. Have not seen Steve in a while. Gerald Poole also had a great qualifying run. Gerald has run top 5 here multiple times, only to have a catastrophic wreck directly in front of him a couple of times late in the race. He told me last night he is hoping by starting up front to overcome the chaos. Albie Hewens currently running in 9th place. Albie, another one having a great run here lately. The College Kid sits back in 10th place at the moment, just riding. Brent Mekas already up to 11th. Bowen Smith up 2 spots, but keep a close eye on that 7 car tonight. Apparently the handling on that car is nowhere near where they need it to be. They are hoping that they can get that car tuned up as the night goes on. Flying Ryan has the fastest lap so far, up 2 spots into 7th. Jeremy Leto, as mentioned, trying to show last win here was not a fluke. He's already up 3 spots into 8th. Matt Bear likely to clinch the championship tonight. Obviously, he is not happy with Octavio Rondoletto after last week, but Octavio not in the field tonight. Good evening to Tammy Seams as well, cheering on those Seams boys. Lataro still in the front. Stephen Rex, Jim Johnson, second and third. They kind of settled in, at least for the moment. Drivers Tech trying out different lines, seeing where they got the most grip and can save the most tires here. I do believe Matt Bear will clinch the title here tonight. 3 races to go after tonight. So, yeah, he has got a 423-point lead. I believe what I heard was that by starting the next race or by winning tonight, he would lock the championship. Nick Seams starting to make some moves, looking underneath Jeremy Leto. Leto a little bobble and loose out of 2, but saves it. Albie Hewins now in 8th, has the college kid coming up behind. Alex Gangler back in the car tonight. I do believe this is his first start. This may be his first start all season long. Great to see him back in the car. Jose Godino not up to speed here early. And neither is Scott Gilliott. Both of these drivers will need some adjustments. Carlos Ruiz put on quite a show in his first XCAL race at Kansas last week. Currently runs in 5th. Tanya Gleason cheering on Flying Ryan. JR, is it the same thing we were talking about earlier, buddy? Joe Campbell has picked up 6 spots already, now underneath Cristiano Roca. Roca looked like he was having a little bit of handling issues. Scott Gilliott is on pit road. Roca looked like he was having some issues with the handling of that car in practice. Joe Campbell can't complete the pass. JR, definitely send me a message. Lataro, Stephen Rex, and Jim Johnson still nose to tail. Matt Bear now up into 4th, having cleared Flying Ryan 1 second behind, and Matt is gaining. Gerald Poole losing a little bit of ground here early. However, I do know that that Flaming Karma team, they are playing the long game here tonight. Interesting to note that I have heard everywhere from 55 to 75 laps on a tank of fuel. Strategy could be a big one here tonight. Joe Campbell looking back underneath Cristiano Roca once again and does clear Joe, now up 7 spots into 10th. Joe currently the biggest mover. I would definitely support that, JR. Top three still on a breakaway. Flying Ryan has gotten back past the Mad Bear. And those two cars continue to reel in the top three. Carlos back in 6th. Gerald Poole 7th. Albie Hewins in 8th. The College Kid in 9th. Joe Campbell now in 10th. And that group pretty much nose to tail at the moment. Albie Hewins now looking underneath Gerald Poole, trying to take 7th place. I would definitely support that one, JR. As long as I ain't got to write the check for it. Albie Hewins starting to really make some moves. He is looking underneath Carlos now to pick up another spot. Albie looking at 6th place. The College Kid not far behind, trying to go through the door that has been opened. Joe Campbell underneath. Those three J&S cars underneath one of their J&S teammates, Carlos. Gerald Poole, Flaming Karma Racing, now back to 10th place. And while they've been battling, Rent Mekas, Cristiano Roca, and Bowen Smith have been closing in. And Flying Ryan has caught the leaders as Stephen Rex battles with Lataro for the lead. Flying Ryan has now made his way up into 3rd place. Jimmy Johnson not putting up a huge fight for that position yet, but hanging with, likely trying to conserve the car just a little bit. Stephen Rex up the track. Flying Ryan looks low for 2nd. Oh, Ryan gets a little loose out of 4, but keeps his foot in it. The Mad Bear back in 5th, trying to reel him back in. Albie Hewins in 6th. Joe now up 10 spots into 7th. J&S definitely have the cars dialed in here tonight. Stephen Rex still battling with Flying Ryan, trying to hold on to 2nd place. Ryan has the nose ahead. Lataro with clean track can use all of it, making it difficult for either of the drivers behind to finish a move. This time by Stephen Rex pulls ahead out of turn 4. Oh, Jim Johnson had a little bobble out of 2 as he gets on the high side on Ryan Seams. And Matt Bear is almost there. Albie Hewins back in 6th, leads this pack, and they are closing the gap as well. As Derek Colson is on pit road, this is way early. Albie now less than 2 seconds behind that lead pack. Matt Bear is backed off of the pack just a little bit as they begin to battle. Jim Johnson comes back by Flying Ryan on the high side for 3rd. Ryan not giving in though. Jim almost in the marbles there, through 3 and 4. Bowen Smith also on the move up to 10th place. Remember, we talked about it earlier. In the heat races, that car was almost undrivable. Looks like they spent a lot of time in the shop today getting the setup right, getting the car tuned, and he is moving forward. Brent Mecca's up 4 spots already into 9th place. Brent came home second last week at Kansas after that kerfuffle in the last couple of laps, and will soon have some new merch in the XCAL Racing web shop. Jeff Edgar also starting to make some moves forward. Another one teamed up with Bowen Smith. Both of those cars owned by Edgar. He is already up 5 spots into 13th, looking at Sean Andrews and Cristiano Roca. Roca on the high side, Sean Andrews underneath. Sean has put, as you heard in pre-race, has put a lot of time into figuring out what the heck is going on with the blinking car. So far, so good here tonight. Albie Hewins has now caught up to the leaders. Joe Campbell right behind Nick the college kid is there as well, and Brent Meckes is running them down. The first 25 laps, this field kind of separated, but now it is tightening back up. This thing could get wild at any moment. Flying Ryan, Stephen Rex still battling it out. Jim Johnson's got to be loving this. He is sitting behind the two of them, just watching them heat their tires up. Also allowing Lautaro to likely conserve just a little bit. He's not having to battle. He's got clean track ahead. Flying Ryan, no, we thought he was going to clear there for a minute. Bowen Smith back in 10th is starting to close the gap on Brent Meckes. Derek Colson is back out on track, and Jeremy Leto is in. They are running the single pit road here at Bristol tonight, so the drivers enter pit road in turn 2. They have to go they have to go most of the lap around to the front straightaway to hit their pit stall, and then exit again in turn 2. Gerald Poole is in, Carlos Ruiz is in, Cristiano Roca is in. This is an early stop. Actually, for most of them, this is within the window. Lautaro is headed in. Just past lap 60, so they are within the pit window. And Jim Johnson has slipped by into the lead. It has been a while since we have seen Jimmy Johnson leading in XCAL. Love to see him back. Stephen Rex in second, Flying Ryan in third. Here they come to pit road. Jim Johnson was able to kind of ride around behind those cars, sit in the draft, conserve some fuel. Jose Godino, Jared Heasley, Sean Andrews also on pit road. Alex Gangler is in. Joe Campbell is now in. Brent Meckes is on his way in. And here comes Jim Johnson giving up the lead. Albie Hewins will go to the lead for the first time tonight. And Albie leads a lap and heads to pit road. Albie currently sits 10th in points, and we've been saying it all season long. If you watch the other series he races in here, you know that that driver has had a 180-degree turnaround this year. Man, the difference is night and day, and we are ecstatic to see Albie up fighting for championship points and money. The Mad Bear comes to pit road, and he will complete the cycle of pit stops. Joe Campbell begins his roll off pit road. Sean Andrews comes by. We'll cycle around and see where everybody is here in just a moment. In the meantime, we're going to go side by side, take a quick commercial break. Folks, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Just a few races left to go in the season. Next week, they go to the Paperclip at Martinsville, another short track. And you know, anything that happens here tonight is likely going to carry over. Don't miss next Tuesday night, 7:20 Eastern. The week after that will be the Charlotte Legends Oval, and holy cow, does that get wild. Lataro now has the lead. The college kid is in second. Stephen Rex now in third. Sean Andrews in fourth. Joe Campbell all the way up to fifth. The Mad Bear in sixth. Flying Ryan currently in seventh place. Brent Meckes in eighth. Jeremy Leto holding on to top 10 in ninth. Jim Johnson lost a lot of ground. He is back in 10th. And it looks like Jared Heasley has had a problem back behind. Jared there in the 40 car, coming out of turn 4, gets the wall, gets a little bit of Flying Ryan front end. Ryan okay, but a hard hit for Heasley. Heasley is on pit road, gonna get some quick repairs and get back out. Meanwhile, Lataro, who had clear traffic up until the pit stop, does not have clear traffic anymore. Jeff Edgar just ahead. Albie Hewins about a straightaway ahead. Danny is always cheering on the Racing Aces with Nick Seams currently running in second. J&S team coming on strong here tonight. Nick Seams in second. Joe back in fourth place. Sean Andrews in sixth. Flying Ryan in seventh. These guys, they definitely have the setup here tonight. Chris Johnson, who had a great night in Jones BS Racing last night, said Matt Bear is his hero, which kind of hurts my feelings, Chris. I thought I was your hero. I'll try not to cry. Lataro at the moment not pushing the issue with Jeff Edgar. He has a 3.2 second lead over the college kid, but Nick is closing in. Stephen Rex still right there with him, as is Joe Campbell. Stephen Rex's first race back in a while, had a great qualifying effort, started third, running third, has not been out of the top 5. Well, as long as I'm number 1, that's what matters. Flying Ryan, a little bobble there, coming out of turn 2. Brent Meckes in 8th. Jim Johnson in 9th is reeling in. The cars ahead. Bowen Smith up here in 10th place appears to be losing ground, whereas he was making his way forward earlier on. You have to wonder if the car, they had a bad adjustment on pit road and the car has gone the wrong way. Well, thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it, buddy. Lataro about to be in really heavy lap traffic. Jeff Edgar, Cristiano Roca, and Alex Gangler all there together. Gangler is back in the corn car tonight. Oh! I believe that was Roca getting a little bit of the wall. Roca was having a problem during practice with that car pushing. obviously they have not completely fixed that issue. And with Lataro lead, let's have a little bit of fun here, folks. I'm going to shut up for a few minutes and let you guys turn the volume way the heck up. Let's crank it up, folks. Absolutely love the crank it up cam. That is so much fun. The college kid is continuing to reel in Lataro, now just 1.5 seconds back. He is chopping away at Lataro. Lataro's lap time's about 0.4 of a second off of his fastest lap. I have to wonder if he is conserving just a little bit. The college kid currently about 0.2 of a second faster, lap in and lap out. Stephen Rex, Joe Campbell, and the Mad Bear all trying to get around Cristiano Roca. That is third, fourth, and fifth going at it. Roca gets the wall again. Right side of that 33 car is starting to get a little scratched up. Jimmy Johnson, who was up leading this thing right before the pit stops, currently in ninth, had a bit of a long stop. And I'm actually trying to figure out why. I'm guessing he got a little bit of repairs done. Although I did not think that car had any damage. He hadn't touched anything. Bowen Smith still holding on in 10th. But Albie Ewan's looking underneath, as is Carlos Ruiz, who lost a lot of ground on that pit stop. And the college kid has caught the leader. And he has brought the crew with him. Oh, Derek Colson, it looks like he may be headed to pit road. Sean Andrews is also in. A few drivers did stop around lap 55 as the college kid battles for the lead. So we are starting to see the second round of green flag stops. Hey, good evening to Kyle Lair and Barbara Lewis. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Jason, the college kid, is obviously listening to you. Nick Seams leads for the first time tonight. Lataro now in second. Stephen Rex in third. Joe Campbell in fourth. Rex and Campbell are closing in. They bring the Mad Bear with them. Flying Ryan Seams less than 2 seconds behind this lead pack, as we saw in that last run. As they get closer to the pit stops, this group weirdly seems to start closing back in. Normally, as they get closer to pit stops, the field spreads out more. But Bristol, everything is different. Jimmy Johnson is now up into 7th place. A couple of drivers to watch on this cycle. Jim Johnson stretched his fuel mileage to lap 67, as did Bowen Smith and Nick Seams. The Mad Bear, who sits in 5th, stretched it all the way to lap 70. These guys are playing the long game in a long race here tonight. Alright, since we have a lot of the Seams fan club here tonight, let's try something new. Everybody in the Seams fan club, do the wave. Just put a wave emoji in the comments. Stephen Rex now battling for 2nd place with Lataro. He's got the nose in. Meanwhile, Matt Bear closing right up to Joe Campbell. Looks like Flying Ryan may have some damage to the right side of that car. Couldn't tell at a quick glance, but let's see if we can get a better view. Yeah, he has had a little bit of the wall there. But Flying Ryan has now caught the lead pack. Meanwhile, Nick has pulled away from that pack as Lataro and Rex have battled. The college kid now has a 2.5 second lead. Lataro, who was out front the entire first fuel run, appears to be struggling here. They're going to have to make some adjustments. Derek Colson is on pit road. Gerald Poole is headed to pit road as well. Brent Meckes now up into 8th, right on Jim Johnson's back bumper. Albie Hewins back in 9th is reeling them both in. Bowen Smith continues to hold on to 10th. Jeff Edgar currently in 11th. Jose Godino now up into 12th. And the college kid continues to pull away. It looks like Nick definitely has the speed and the fuel mileage here tonight. Could tonight be the night that we see Seams in victory lane? Lataro is on pit road. Cristiano Roca is in. Nick Seams now has a 3.6 second lead over Joe Campbell, Stephen Ricks, and Matt Bear. Flying Ryan now in 5th. Jim Johnson and Brent Meckes continue to reel in the lead pack. Stephen Ricks is in. Flying Ryan is in. And if you all missed it today, oh, Nick Seams heads to pit road with a drift. And if you missed the news, we posted it on Facebook and Twitter earlier today. SRX is coming to iRacing. This is going to be a game changer. sometime next year, and we are already working on getting a broadcast, making sure we are hooked up to bring you guys some iRacing SRX next season. Jim Johnson is in, Brent Meckes, Joe Campbell now in. Matt Bear, Albie Hewins, Jeff Edgar still on track. Jeff Edgar will now move up into third, Albie into second, but the Mad Bear has the lead. And he's still got about 5 more laps of fuel. I don't know what those EHP boys are doing to save so dang much fuel, but man, they have got it figured out here. Jeff Edgar, Albie Hewins, Joe Campbell, all still on pit road. Joe on his way out. Jared Heasley still on pit road for repairs, and it appears that Scott Gilliott may be out of the race. Only one stimulus. Here we go. Matt Bear is headed in as Nick Seams goes by. Nick has a 3.5 second gap on Lautaro. Heartbreaking to see Scott Gilliott out early. He had a great run last week at Kansas. But the last 2 weeks has been the only stimulus racing car on track. Nick Seams working his way through traffic as Lautaro tries to close the gap. Stephen Rex currently in third. Sean Andrews now up into fourth. Joe Campbell in fifth. Flying Ryan in sixth. Jim Johnson in seventh. Alex Gangler in 8th and Brent Meckes in 9th. That top 10 will get shuffled a little bit once the Mad Bear gets done on pit road. Matt Bear on his way off pit road now. Currently scored in third, now fourth place. And it looks like Matt is going to come off pit road in fourth. But the college kid maintains a 3-second lead at the moment over Lautaro. Sean Andrews, we mentioned the connection problems earlier, has had no problems so far tonight. Fingers crossed that he can hold on to it. Having a great run in fifth. Joe Campbell also having a great run tonight, currently running in sixth with Flying Ryan in seventh. J&S currently has 4 drivers in the top 10, more than any other team. Flying Ryan just came by. Sean Andrews moving into 6th. Jim Johnson coming by Andrews now to pick up 7th. Worth noting right about now that storms are blowing into our area, so make sure you're following us on Facebook. If we lose connection and lose the broadcast, we will rebroadcast later this week. We'll make those announcements. Hopefully will not be needed, but just a heads up, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We'll give you a moment to go follow us on all those. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You won't miss anything. We're going to go side by side. We'll be right back. And we are back. Nick Seen still in the lead. Don't forget, next Tuesday night, short track racing. Once again, as the street stocks of XCAL go to Martinsville, the paperclip, and things get rough there. It can get tricky to pass, and oftentimes the drivers have to use that front bumper to make their way through the field. It could get rough next week, Tuesday, 7:20 Eastern. Lataro almost 4 seconds back, but the Mad Bear now to 3rd place, closing in quickly on Lataro. Stephen Rex in 4th, Joe Campbell in 5th, with a mix of lead lap cars and lap traffic all around. I do know a lot of the drivers had to set the car up a little bit loose tonight. And we're seeing a lot of that as they come out of turn 4. Just a little bit of a bobble out of some of these cars. Drivers really having to work for it here tonight. Brent Mecca is starting to make his way forward once again, currently in 8th. Sean Andrews is back on pit road. Seems a few laps early for Sean to be in. Things are going to get, as this race goes on and stays green, things are going to get really exciting with pit road entry and exit being in turn 2. As the fuel strategies play out, drivers are going to be, we're going to see more and more drivers more frequently on pit road. Things are going to get a little bit dicing, and strategies are really going to come into play, as we're already starting to see, as things, as they spread out, as the fuel strategies play out, and of course at pit road entry and exit, things always get a little bit wild there. And let's see if we can get a look from the How to Suck at iRacing blimp. As Ryan Seams continues, or I'm sorry, as Nick Seams continues to lead. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, as the Nowski Nation, just a couple races left to go in the season. Can Edmund Jones win the championship? Thursday night, as always, we have the American Truck Sim Community Convoy. All you truckers out there, come join it. Come join us. Come run with us. Come tune in, have some laughs, jump in Discord and talk to us. Sunday morning, GT3 NSS is back, 11:30 Eastern. Awesome road racing. We saw that new Ferrari really dominant this past Sunday at Monza. And of course, Monday night, Jones BS Racing continues their season as well, and they have some very close points battles with several drivers you see here tonight. And next Tuesday night, as always, we will be back next Tuesday with Martinsville. Plus, you can tune in during the day while you're at work. Dial up the stream, say hello. Take a few minutes, check out, and have some laughs with Angie and I. Albie Hewins was able to go around the college kid to get himself back on the tail end of the lead lap in 9th. Those two are teammates. I'm guessing there's a little teamwork at play here. Great strategy by Nick to let Albie go by. He can sit in the draft. It helps both drivers. Could save Nick an extra lap or two. Bowen Smith not far behind the leader in 10th, trying to work his way back to the lead lap here as well. And Jeff Edgar in that mess of cars back in 11th. Nick's lead over the Mad Bear is now down to 2.7 seconds. After Matt got by Lataro, he has started reeling the college kid in. Lataro still holding on to 3rd, but Joe Campbell is closing that gap. And Flying Ryan, just a major power move off turn 4 to move himself into 5th. Jim Johnson, though, looks back underneath. Matt Bear just lost a little bit of ground the last couple laps. Now 3 seconds behind. Nick Seams working with Albie, definitely paying off. Flying Ryan finally clears Jimmy Johnson. Jim now in 6th place. Stephen Rex back behind in 7th. Brent Mekas a ways back in 8th. Matt starting to lose even more ground to the College Kid. He is now 3.5 seconds back. However, Matt does not need to win here tonight. He just needs a top 5 finish to extend his points lead even further. Make sure you guys are checking out the XCAL Racing web shop, xcalracing.com/shop. A lot of new stuff coming very soon. Gonna have some new Lataro stuff in there and a lot more. Hearing several drivers are about to get new stuff in there, and we could see some new Seams gear after tonight if the College Kid can pull off the win. xcalracing.com/shop. Also, don't forget to check out xcalracing.com, powered by Sim Racer Hub. Get all your XCAL Racing stats and info at Sim Racer Hub. Look up all the stats on your favorite drivers there. And if you're interested in joining XCAL but don't want to do the longer races, you can always check out the XCAL Dash Series. Much shorter races, different cars, a good way to dip your toes into the XCAL pond. Jason, have to agree, as Flying Ryan just took 4th. Lataro now on pit road. Cristiano Roca also on pit road, as it looks like the 3rd round of pit stops is already underway. And remember, a lot of different fuel strategies going on already here tonight. Looks like in some cases we've got as much as 15 to 20 laps difference in when folks pitted. So as this continues and as they stay green here, that gap is going to get bigger and bigger. It's definitely going to get interesting trying to keep up with who's on what strategy and who can go the distance on fuel. We know at this point, Matt Bear, Nick Seams headed in, he gives up the lead. We know at this point, the Mad Bear can stretch further than anybody else. Joe Campbell now to 2nd, Jim Johnson in 3rd. Jim driving for Jeff Edgar tonight. Great to see him back on track, as we have not seen him in a very, very long time. And he's having a great run as he heads to pit road. Flying Ryan also on pit road. Joe Campbell now in. Albie Hewins continues to stay out, as does Jeff Edgar. And we know Matt Bear can probably go another 8 to 10 laps here. Albie Hewins now on pit road. That is a little bit earlier than what we expected for him. Jeff Edgar still staying out though, currently in second place. As drivers begin to come back out off pit road, Lataro is out. Flying Ryan, Stephen Rex, Jim Johnson, Brent Mekas all have completed stops. Alex Gangler was one of the drivers on that earlier pit stop. He stopped about 30 laps ago. Gangler now in the top 10. Could short pitting and having the freshest tires out there pay off tonight? Jeff Edgar now comes in. Matt Bear is the last driver to complete this cycle. Brent Mekas on fresh tires coming by, trying to get one of his laps back. And it looks like Cristiano Roca has had a problem as the Mad Bear heads to pit road. The 33 has definitely had some problems here tonight. That car, the right side, is totally cow. He gets a little too much of the apron through 1 and 2, loses it, goes around, but gets it rolling again. Matt Bear headed to his pit stop. Lataro currently scored in second. Nick Seams had a problem on pit road. He has now scored in 18th. Looks like Jeremy Leto in 17th also had a very long pit stop. Jared Heasley is officially out of the race, as is Derek Colson. The Mad Bear on his way back out. Flying Ryan goes by. He has claimed second place. Now that this round of pit stops has been completed, let's run through the field and see where all your favorite drivers are. Lataro is in the lead, qualified up front, and has been up in the top 3 pretty much all night long. Flying Ryan in second place is reeling Lataro in 3 seconds back, 3.8 rather. Continues to close in after pit stops. The Mad Bear in third has the fuel strategy. He has been stretching it 5 laps further than everybody else, continues to grow that gap every stop. Albie Hewins now up into 4th after helping Nick Seams. Looks like that strategy is paying off as well as he continues to work his way forward. Stephen Rex now back up in the top 5. He continues to hang on after starting in 3rd. Great run. Great to see him back on track. Joe Campbell currently in 6th, the biggest mover of the night so far, up 11 spots. Another great run for Joe, and right on his bumper is Jim Johnson. Jim currently running in 7th place. His first race back in quite a while. Hopped in Jeff Edgar's car and is getting the job done here tonight. Brent Mekas, who's been getting faster and faster week in and week out, now up into 8th place, continues to pick up spots, up 5 from where he started. Jeff Edgar, another driver having a great run here tonight, currently running in 9th, right behind the leader, trying to get one of his laps back. Bowen Smith currently running in 10th. Bowen had problems in the heats. Did not finish the heats, but due to setup and handling issues, he has got them figured out, currently running in 10th. Alex Gangler driving the corn on the cob car around here, currently in 11th place, up 10 spots. A great run in his first race back in quite some time. Jose Godino currently running in 12th. Jose playing the strategy, trying to march his way forward. Good consistency and pace here tonight. Gerald Thanos Poole currently in 13th place. Gerald has always had bad luck here at Bristol. In the last 50 laps, he was looking to overcome it here tonight. Sean Andrews sits back in 14th. It looks like Sean may have finally figured out his connection problem. Now just needs a little bit more speed. Carlos Ruiz currently in 15th place. A great run last week at Kansas, but problems here. He has been fading from that 5th place starting spot. Nick, the college kid, seems look to have this one in the bag. Has had a fast car all night long. Has had the fuel strategy bang on, but problems on that last pit stop have sent him back to 16th. Can he make up the ground with that speed? Jeremy Leto, it's been a long time since we have seen Leto in the car, the 2022 Bristol Spring winner, trying to get it done in the fall. Cristiano Roca currently in 18th, sitting on pit road. Derek Colson, Jared Easley, and Scott Gilliott out early. Matt Bear has gotten by Flying Ryan to take 2nd place. Ryan still within striking distance in 3rd. Albie Hewins has drifted back to 4th. But Lataro's lead is shrinking. The Mad Bear is closing in. Sean Andrews back on pit road in 14th place. As it's just about time already for the next cycle of green flag stops. Some of these drivers that stopped last time right around lap 180 will be coming in the next 10 to 15 laps. And we'll really start to see just how far out these guys have gotten. Cristiano Roca is out of the race. No, I apologize. He is on pit road. Let's take a look and see if he had a problem when he was coming in. like Roca got some heavy damage. There's Carlos Ruiz. Let's see when he gets to Roca. Oh, Roca was already down on the apron having issues. Matt Bear has caught the leader. One lap car sits between them at the moment. Jeff Edgar, who's currently scored in ninth, he is going to let Matt by. Per XCAL rules, he is not required to. But letting the Mad Bear by and sitting on his bumper would be a great strategy for Edgar. Alex Gangler back on pit road now for his next stop. Flying Ryan back in third, about 1.2 seconds back from the top two. Albie Hewins in fourth, about 5.6 seconds back. He is closing in on Flying Ryan. Good evening, Joe Halsey. Hope you're having a great night. Steven Rex currently running in fifth. Joe Campbell in sixth. Jim Johnson currently seventh. Brent Mekas in eighth. Nick Seams now up to 13th as pit stops cycle through. Fortunately for Nick, his fuel strategy has given him a lot of positions tonight. He is able to extend further than most. Actually, only a couple of drivers, Albie Hewins and Matt Bear, have stretched further than Nick Seams. So he might be able to pick up some spots, get himself back up into the top 10 before this is over. Matt Bear is looking for the lead on Lataro out of two. And they are inches apart. Lataro won that race last week at Kansas with a little help from Octavio back behind. That finish was wild. Lataro and Octavio obviously work together all the time. Matt Bear, as you heard in pre-race, was not happy with Octavio. Could he be, if we get down to later in the race, could the Mad Bear take his frustration out on his friend, on Octavio's friend? Lataro and the Mad Bear still fighting, but now Flying Ryan was able to close up. It's a three-car battle, and Albie has started closing the gap very quickly as they continue to battle, getting word. It looks like what I suspected. Nick, the college kid, Seams got caught speeding on pit road on that last stop, which has put him back to 13th. He has got some ground to make up. Hey, Kevin, welcome back, buddy. Lataro using the momentum off the high side. He is able to hold off the Mad Bear, at least for the moment. Can Flying Ryan take... Oh, Matt gets loose out of 2. Ryan using that high line momentum, trying to take second place, and he's got to run. Flying Ryan is looking for the lead. Out of turn 2, he quickly clears Lataro. And Flying Ryan leads. Both teams have led tonight. Albie Hewins is on pit road. This is an early stop for him. Matt Bear now in second. Lataro in third. Stephen Rex now to fourth. Jimmy Johnson in fifth. Lataro is on pit road. Flying Ryan has been known to stretch the fuel, but not to the degree that we see from guys like Matt Bear and Nick Seams. Right now, though, he could really use a couple extra laps to stay closer to the Mad Bear. And Carlos Ruiz has had a problem. Carlos has had a great races since joining XCAL, but man, tonight has been rough, similar to what we saw from Heasley. Oh man. Loose out of 4, gets the inside wall. Matt Bear now looks to the high side. He saw Flying Ryan get 2 for 1 up there. He now goes by to take the lead. Jim Johnson now to third as Stephen Rex, Jeff Edgar, and Jose Godino are on pit road. And Flying Ryan is on pit road. Nick Seams now to 10th with him stretching that fuel window. Hopefully, under these conditions, he can start to pick up some ground here. Brent Meckes now up into 4th. He has also been stretching the fuel here tonight. Brent may very well have a top 5 car and maybe sneak a podium in here tonight. Whoa, Matt on that high line gets a little bit loose as he comes up behind Thanos. Gerald Poole currently scored in 14th. Two years ago at this race, Gerald Poole was running top 5. A wreck broke out in turn 3 with about 45 laps to go. The track stacked up, filled up, and Thanos had nowhere else to go. Holy cow! Jeff Edgar has recovered. See if we can see what the heck happened with Jeff Edgar a moment ago. Oh, a little net code between him and the 10. The 10 almost gets caught. Edgar slides it down into the wall. That was a close call. And now Joe Campbell has had a problem. Joe coming out of turn 4. Corn on the high side and Joe just comes up a little bit. There may have been some net code at play. Manages to save it there and keep rolling, but he lost track position. And that was a wild turn of events here at Bristol. Looks like Matt Baird, Joe Campbell, and Jim Johnson are on pit road, as is Brent Meckes and Bowen Smith. Matt just waiting on Matt Baird to complete the pit cycle. Rubbin is definitely racing, Thomas. Oh, I'm glad you made it home okay, buddy. That I saw the pictures, man. That was not great. Of the drivers who have completed pit stops so far, Flying Ryan currently scored in 4th. Now in 3rd is Jim Johnson on his way off pit road. And we talked about it earlier in the race. These guys, this pit road situation does occasionally cause some chaos. Drivers are exiting onto the track out of turn 2. Drivers are entering pit road into turn 2 down on the backstretch, so things get a bit chaotic. Matt Baird is giving up the lead. He is on pit road. Can Matt Baird have a quick enough pit stop, though, to... Oh, holy cow! Bowen Smith, wicked loose, out of 2. Great save. Will Matt Baird be able to get a quick enough pit stop to maintain the lead here? Albie Hewins now in 3rd. Jim Johnson now to 4th. Stephen Ricks in 5th. Brent Meckes in 6th. I mentioned Meckes playing strategy and has a fast car here tonight, but he's been playing it consistent and safe. I think he is going to sneak another top 5 in here tonight. Meckes came in tonight 7th in points, just a few points behind his car owner, Jeff Edgar. Matt Baird is on his way off pit road. Where is Flying Ryan? Ryan on the high side. Ryan seems back to the lead. The Matt Baird now in 2nd. Albie Hewins in 3rd. And I can tell you that every single driver in this field would not care one single bit and would all applaud if Albie Hewins got the win here tonight. A podium finish for Albie would be huge and would be extremely, extremely exciting for that J&S team. Bowen Smith, who we saw getting loose earlier, and who we mentioned had problems in the heats with the handling, he is now up into 7th. And Alex Gangler is now in the top 10 and 9th. He is up 12 spots. He is the biggest mover. Nick Seams, meanwhile, after that speeding penalty, currently in 13th, he is starting to pick up some ground here. He is starting to close the gap on Gerald Poole, Jose Godino, Lataro, and Alex Gangler. If he can continue to have this speed and extend his fuel mileage, he could still easily pull off a top 10 here tonight. Yeet indeed, Kevin. Oh, Flying Ryan gets the wall out of 2. Oh! Bowen has got his hands full. Looks like they went too far with adjustments on that last stop. That car is trying to slip slide away on him. Bowen definitely going to have to be careful here, right on the leader's bumper. Bowen, though, currently running in 7th place. He is having a great run despite the problems with the car. Let's take another quick look from the How to Suck at iRacing blimp. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, as the Nowski Nation Truck Series begins to wind down, but the points are exceedingly close. Every single position makes a huge difference right now. Thursday night, as always, we have our ATS Community Convoy. You guys are always welcome to tune in, watch. It is a great time. Everybody laughing, having a good time, and everybody is welcome to join in Discord and say hello. Sunday morning, GT3 NSS is back. More great GT racing, and man, that new Ferrari looks just awesome. Sunday night, of course, the BRR Cup Series. The Final Four head to the final 2 races as they try and determine who the champ is gonna be. Monday night, Jones BS Racing is back, 8:30 Eastern. Those little Legends cars on short tracks, always one heck of a show. And everybody is having fun in the late models. And with the little practice this week, you could very well see Angie back in the car next Monday night. Hey, good evening, Richie. How are you, buddy? I replied to your message just a few minutes. Matt Bear has gotten by Flying Ryan to take the lead, but Ryan not giving an inch. And Ryan's got a little help as Joe Campbell is right in front of him. Joe still the last car on the lead lap. He can fight Matt Bear to maintain his position. Per XCAL rules, he does not have to let the Mad Bear by, and knowing that Flying Ryan is right back there in 2nd place, I'm betting Joe is going to do everything he can. Joe not giving an inch despite going up the track. But Matt Bear is going to... No, Joe fights back on the high side. Flying Ryan, he is loving that view ahead of him. Those two battling out will definitely hurt Matt Bear's tires and help Flying Ryan on the long run here. Lataro, who's been up front, led a lot of laps. It looks like the handling on the car is going away to a degree. That car now back in 9th. The college kid continues his fight forward. He is now in 12th, and it continues to close on Gerald Thanos Poole. Stephen Rex currently sitting in 6th place. Trying to close the gap on 5th place, Brent Meckes. Albie Hewins in 4th place, right behind 3rd place, Jim Johnson. Joe still fighting the Mad Bear. Keeping Matt pinned down at the moment. Matt not able to get the run off the turn. Whereas Ryan right behind, able to use the whole track. I have to say, there is some teamwork going on here. And a great job by the teammates. Matt Bear, one of the few drivers out here with no teammate, no help. And Flying Ryan gets by. Matt not giving up yet, but Flying Ryan back to the lead. While they were battling, Jim Johnson, Albie Hewins able to close a little bit of ground, but they are still 5.7 seconds back. Brent Meckes, another 5 1/4 seconds back in 5th, starting to close the gap in on Albie. Stephen Rex currently in 6th, Joe Campbell in 7th, just ahead of the leader. Bowen now in 8th, Lataro in 9th, and Jose Godino picking them off one at a time, as usual, just quietly making his way forward, now in 10th. Now Gerald Poole in this big mix, currently in 11th, trying to close in on Jose. The college kid in 12th, meanwhile, has cut the gap down to Gerald Poole down to just 10 1/4 seconds. He is closing in dramatically quickly. Alex Gangler currently sitting in 13th. Alex has had a really good run here tonight for his first race back in XCAL competition. Jeremy Leto also in his first race back in a long time, currently in 14th. Carlos Ruiz, despite issues all race long, still in the fight in 15th. Sean Andrews is still on pit road. Sean had a good run going early, was starting to make his way into the top 10. Even got up to the top 5, but man, gets his connection fixed and everything else goes wrong. Great job, Kevin. The Mad Bear now looks back under Flying Ryan for the lead. Jim Johnson, Albie Hewins starting to close in again. We're going to take another quick commercial break. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're going side by side. You will not miss a thing. are back. Don't forget to tune in next Tuesday night, 7:20 Eastern. XCAL goes to the paperclip at Martinsville, and you know there is going to be some bumping, run, rubbing, and racing all night long at Martinsville. Flying Ryan still has the lead from with some help from Joe Campbell, but Matt Bear continues to look low, trying to make a move to the inside. Jim Johnson still sitting in third, Brent Meckes in fourth, Joe Campbell in fifth. Flying Ryan is headed in. Nick seems continuing to stretch that fuel mileage here, starting to make up some ground. How much can he make up in the next 100 or so laps? And what about Jimmy Johnson? Top 5 run most of the night. He's got the speed and the strategy here tonight. Definitely could be a podium here for him. I do believe that would be Jim Johnson's first podium in XCAL competition. Bowen Smith on pit road as well. As the pit stops begin to spread out, we saw a little bit of chaos on that last round of pit stops. Now as they continue to spread out just a little bit, could things get more sketchy there in turn 2? Joe Campbell finally lets the Mad Bear by now that Matt is back in the lead. Steven Rex just completed his pit stop. He is currently in 9th. Expect him to pick up some spots. He is also a top 5 contender here tonight. Nick the college kid is on pit road. Jim Johnson, Joe Campbell, and Brent Meckes all on pit road. Bowen Smith, having just completed his stop, currently in 8th. He is dang near drove the wheels off that car tonight. We have seen it out of shape multiple times. We know that car was having problems last night. But man, he is putting on a show and making it work. Flying Ryan, after completing his pit stop, trying to reel in the Mad Bear before Matt makes his. Albie Hewins also about 9 seconds back from Ryan at the moment. Albie having one heck of a run here tonight. Currently scored in 4th, has been in the top 5 most of the night. Matt Bear looks like he has about another 5 laps until he hits pit road. Then we'll see where everybody cycles through, although right now it looks like Jim Johnson just ahead of Flying Ryan. But can Matt, with the lead he has, can he maintain the lead after this cycle of stops. A 100 laps left to go here at Bristol. Let's hear your predictions in the comments with all these wild fuel strategies, differences in setups and speeds. Who do you think is going to pull it off tonight? Will it be the Mad Bear? Can Jim Johnson make a triumphant return here tonight? Or will Flying Ryan finally get a seams into victory lane here tonight? Or will Albie Ewan sneak up from behind and finally get that first win? Matt Bear gives up the lead. He is on pit road. Lataro, the early leader, now back in 9th place. Holy cow! Lataro and Jim just a little door banging there. Carlos, after that earlier incident, looks like he is missing the entire front clip on that car, still sticking it out. Kevin, if I was out there, I would have already wrecked. I am not great at Bristol. Matt Bear completes his pit stop. He is rolling off. He'll come out in 3rd. Jim Johnson will have the lead, followed by Flying Ryan. The Mad Bear about 5.5 seconds back. Albie Ewan's in 4th. Another 5.5 seconds back. And Brent Meckes about 6 seconds behind them. Bowen Smith is now up to 6th place. Bowen having a great run tonight, up 10 spots. Currently the biggest mover of the race. Nick seems currently in 12th place, but 5 seconds behind Thanos in 11th. After that speeding penalty early on in the race, Nick has been fighting his way back up through the field. He is closing in on Gerald in 11th with Jose just another 13 seconds ahead. The college kid could still pull off a top 10 here tonight. You and me both, Kevin. Only 4 cars left on the lead lap now. Jim Johnson, Flying Ryan, the Mad Bear, and Albie Hewins. Brent Meckes is currently sitting in 5th. Bowen Smith in 6th and Joe Campbell in 7th. Both drivers up 10 spots from where they started. But Joe looks underneath Bowen. He's going to take one of those spots. Matt Bear trying to get past Joe. Joe not on the lead lap. Oh, Bowen way out of shape, out of turn 4, saves it. But that gave Joe the run he needed underneath. Jim Johnson extending his lead now 1.25 seconds over Flying Ryan. Matt Baer not able to make up any ground at the moment. Stuck back in traffic, but remember, Matt does not need to win tonight to secure that championship. Joe Campbell now goes to 6th, finally gets past Bowen Smith. Matt clears Bowen now as well. And Stephen Rex in 8th is starting to reel Bowen in. And before the next round of stops, let's see if we can get a full field rundown. Jim Johnson in his first race back has the lead, and it is growing. He's had strategy and speed on his side all night long. Ryan Seams currently sits in second place, 1.25 seconds back. Flying Ryan also has had the pace and some good fuel strategy tonight. Plus, it looks like he has made that car a little bit skinnier, banging the right side in to pick up some speed. The Mad Bear currently in 3rd, trapped back in lap traffic. Matt has the advantage on fuel by quite a bit. Albie Ewan's currently running in 4th place, still on the lead lap. Albie looking for his first XCAL podium here tonight. Brent Meck is currently running in 5th. Another great run for Brent. He has been getting consistently better week in and week out. Joe Campbell currently in 6th, currently the biggest mover of the race. Trying to close the gap on Brent, just 3 seconds back. And making it very difficult for the Mad Bear to get around. Bowen Smith in 7th. That car has been a handful all night long. He has held on to her and kept it moving forward. Stephen Rex currently in 8th. Started the race in 3rd. A great qualifying effort. A very consistent race here tonight. Lataro qualified it on the pole. Has led quite a few laps, but the setup, the car, seems to be going away from him. Jose Godino currently running in 10th, just quietly picking up spots all night long. Jose doing Jose things. Nick the college kid seems currently in 11th. Nick was one of the fastest and the best strategy cars, was up front leading quite a bit. A speeding penalty on pit road put him back to 16th. He has fought his way back to 11th and is reeling in Jose Godino in 10th. Gerald Thanos Poole currently in 12th, at a great qualifying run, just trying to shake off his bad luck here at Bristol. Currently in 12th, trying to make his way into the top 10. Alex Gangler, his first run in XCAL in quite some time, currently sitting in 13th, has fought his way up through the field a couple of times. Can he do it one more time? Jeremy Leto, the 2022 Spring Bristol winner, currently in 14th, just continues to ride around out there, having a good, clean, consistent run. Carlos Ruiz in 15th, put on quite a show at Kansas, has definitely made himself known since joining XCAL, but Bristol has definitely not gone his way. Jeff Edgar currently in 16th on pit road for his fuel stop. Edgar definitely has a top 10 car here tonight. Sean Andrews has been on pit road for quite a while now. Unlikely to get back out tonight. Cristiano Roca, Derek Colson, Jared Heasley, and Scott Gilliott out early. Thomas, you definitely do, buddy, but it is a lot of laps. Jim Johnson's lead holding at 1 1/4 seconds over Flying Ryan at the moment. Mad Bear is reeling him in, now 4.3 seconds back. Albie in fourth has picked up about 1.5 seconds on the Mad Bear, now 8.4 seconds back. Can he make up some more ground and pull off a podium finish here tonight? Mad Bear has finally gotten around Joe Campbell as Gerald Poole hits pit road. Joe now up into 6th place, trying to reel in Brent Meckes. He is closing that gap, just 2.8 seconds back. Jeff Edgar definitely made a great move putting Jim Johnson back in that car here tonight. Jim having an amazing run here tonight. Some of the drivers have just hit their pit window. So final pit stops about to begin. Jose Godino, Gerald Poole already in. Whether or not they can go the distance is the question mark. But everybody who comes in from here on out will be able to go the distance. Here comes Jim. Flying Ryan stays out. Final pit stops begin. We're going to take our final commercial break, folks. When we come back, we are taking you to the finish. Excuse me there. We are back. Matt Bear has reclaimed the lead. Flying Ryan is in for his final pit stop. And now we see which strategy will play out for the win here tonight. Don't forget, next Tuesday night, 7:20 Eastern, XCAL goes to the paperclip at Martinsville, and boy, will that be that'll be a good one. As we mentioned earlier, Martinsville is not an easy place to pass. The bumper will come out, and if anybody's still angry, like Matt Bear and Octavio Rondoletto, fireworks could happen. Ryan is back off pit road. Jim Johnson is back off pit road. Flying Ryan came out with a 5.6 second gap on Jim Johnson. Now the question comes down to Matt Bear's pit stop. By stretching this, he will not have to take as much fuel. He could do a 2-tire stop or something, or at least less fuel, could get off pit road quicker. Brent Meckes now in, Joe Campbell now in, Nick Seams is in, Alex Gangler is in. Nick Seams has fought his way back. He's currently scored in 10th. I'm going to guess he will hold on to that top 10 finish. He's still a couple of laps back from Lautaro. I don't think he can close that gap, but what a fight back for the college kid. Jose Godino just coming by Nick, but Nick fighting back on the bottom. That is the battle for 10th, and at least for the moment, Nick has it. Jose Godino, though, quietly sneaks his way through the field, and you never know when he's going to pop up there in the top 5, top 10. Matt Bear is in. The leader is on pit road. This is the final stop. And where Matt Bear comes out could decide this race. Jim Johnson currently in 3rd, Brent Meckes in 4th, and Albie back in 5th. However, Albie is reeling in Brent. Albie with another top 5 run here tonight. Albie will close the gap just a little bit in the points on Jose Godino if they finish as they run at the moment. Matt Bear is back out on off pit road. He did maintain the lead. He is 4 1/4 seconds ahead of Ryan Seams. Ryan is closing in. Ryan's final stop at 37.3. The Mad Bears' final stop, 26.4. Matt definitely played the strategy perfectly here tonight. Meanwhile, Jim Johnson, his first race back in a while, looking at a podium finish here tonight. Bowen Smith currently in 6th. Joe Campbell back in 7th. Bowen has had an impressive run holding on to an ill-handling car to keep it moving forward all night long. Steven Rex quietly running around in 8th place. He has had a top 10 run all night, spent part of the night up in the top 5. Lataro sitting in 9th. Nick Seams, his comeback has been impressive from that speeding penalty early in the race. Coming back for a top 10 finish to maintain his points position. Came into the night 3rd in points. 200 points behind Flying Ryan. But he has a 100-point lead on Scott Gilliott in the 27. Top 15 in points all get paid at the end of the season, but those top 3 spots definitely get the most. Jeremy Leto just completed his final stop. The car is banged up, scratched up, but he is still going, currently running in 14th, his first race back in a long time. Carlos Ruiz back on pit road. A heartbreaking night. The rookie, man, he has put on quite a show the last couple of races, but a rough night at Bristol. Matt Bear has started to pull a gap on Flying Ryan. Now 5.6 seconds and growing. Worth reminding everybody, with 10 laps to go, if a caution comes out, per XCAL rules, at 10 to go, there will be no more wave rounds. At 5 laps to go, there will be no more cautions. They'll hear green, 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 and they go to the finish. Matt Bear about to be in heavy lap traffic. The college kid, Lataro, just ahead of him. And Jeremy Leto, plus Carlos Ruiz on the high side in that heavily damaged car. The only thing to prevent the Mad Bear from winning now is lap traffic. Albie Ewan's looking at a top 5 run here tonight as well. Albie definitely has been on a tear here lately. Expect to see Albie, as he's fought his way up into the top 10 in points, fully expect him in 2024 to be battling for the championship. Matt Bear working his way past Lataro on the bottom. $20 laps to go for the Mad Bear. His lead now 7.9 seconds over Flying Ryan. Jim Johnson sits in 3rd, Brent Meckes in 4th, and Albie Ewans in 5th. Jeff Edgar, a rough night. He was looking like he might have a top 10 run, but after that problem earlier in the race through turn 2, a great save. He kept the car from any damage, but lost a ton of track position, dropped back to 15th. Jeremy Leto was looking to repeat his spring win of 2022 here tonight with a full win at Bristol. Unfortunately, back in 14th, won't be able to get it done. Gerald Poole not having the run he expected tonight. He had a very fast car in the heats. The fuel mileage is... Oh, hold on to her, Thanos. This night is definitely not going the way he wanted. However, 15 laps to go. He has not been involved in a wreck. Alex Gangler's first run back, currently running in 12th, up 9 spots from where he started. As long as he has been going, that is definitely a successful race for him. Jose Godino currently in 11th place, just consistent, quiet, sneaking his way up through the field. The college kid, the first part of this race, looked like he had the car to beat. A speeding penalty set him back. He's still going to pull off a top 10 finish here tonight. Through 3 and 4, Matt Bear gets the call. 10 laps to go. There will be no more wave arounds if the caution comes out. Matt Bear once again gets the fuel mileage perfect. His final stop 10 seconds faster than anybody else. What a run for Matt here tonight. Flying Ryan looking at yet another podium. What a season he has had to come home second in points without a win. Three races left to go after tonight. Can he get into victory lane before the season is out? Matt Bear gets the drivers here. Green. Oh! What in the world? The caution came out with 5 to go. The question is, was Matt Bear across the line when it happened? See if we can see what happened here. Joe and Bowen going out. Bowen just comes across Joe's nose. Both of them spin, recover, and keep going. The driver's having to stop and wait for the pace car. The only caution here tonight. They both go back up across the track right in front of the leaders, and I believe Jim Johnson caught a piece of it. This means that Flying Ryan and Jim Johnson have a shot at the win. We will get a green-white checkered, only the third green-white checkered in XCAL history. Matt Bear was still in the turn when the caution came out. It don't get no closer. Had that incident happened a couple of seconds, and I do mean just a couple of seconds later, this Bristol race would have gone green to checkers. Now the top three. Matt Bear is on pit road. Flying Ryan is staying out. Jim Johnson stays out. No, they're not getting a green-white checkered. They will not have a green-white checkered. Matt Bear went in. The white flag is out. Ryan seems, it looks like Flying Ryan may pull off the win. And out of turn 4, indeed, it just happened. Flying Ryan Seams pulls off the win at Bristol. Jim Johnson comes home second. The Mad Bear will finish third, and I bet the Mad Bear is mad. What a turn of events we have here. Well, Seams Fan Club, he finally gets it done. Flying Ryan Seams gets the win at Bristol. The first Seams win of the season. Let's talk to our top three, starting with Matt Bear. Matt, man, you had the strategy nailed tonight.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. Aaron made a terrible decision. I was past the line with 5 to go, threw the caution out, and then we don't get a green-white checkered on top of it. I hope he does the right thing and declares me the winner. I mean, I was ahead by 6 seconds when the caution came out, and we didn't get a chance to attempt a green-white checkered. So I think it's fairly clear-cut and dry what needs to be done right there. I played the race properly. I was ahead, and we were clearly past the line with less than 5 to go. And apparently not, but there's no way when I'm already entering turn 1 that there's not there's a caution being thrown that's a flag. Like that's horrible. That's a joke. Congratulations, Ryan, to the unofficial win. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to count. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened right there. I beat everybody, outsmarted them, and have it taken away by race control is a little frustrating there, man, because a short run, I think we have the best car in the field.
Well, man, you definitely got the job done tonight, buddy. A great job. Obviously, I think once you start next week, you end up with the championship. That has to be some kind of consolation.
Yeah, it is. But, I'm still trying to get the wins right now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Doug. That's frustrating. I mean, I don't know what to say after that. Run 340 laps, 341 laps to be exact, and we get to under 5 to go. And apparently we have rules, but apparently we don't know how to use them. So that's a little frustrating.
Well, man, regardless, congratulations. I know it's a frustrating night. Great job by you and your team tonight.
Thank you, man.
A very disappointed Matt Bear comes home in third, and Jim Johnson comes home in second. Jim, I'm annoyed you didn't tell me you were racing tonight to begin with, but great job, buddy.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Have to thank Jeff Edgar for the opportunity. He, said, "Hey, we want to run for Giant?" I'm like, "Sure. What the hell?"
Well, man, you came out here. You had the speed all night. It looked like you had the strategy just about right, and man, you were just flying around. It was obvious you were going to have a podium finish most of the night.
Yeah, the car was good. I mean, a little off on the fuel strategy, but I haven't run here, with these guys in a while, so it was kind of on the fly how I did it. So, I mean, car wasn't bad. I had to make minor adjustments. Probably the thing I should have changed was the gear. That would have gave me a couple more laps of run, but I stuck with what I ran in the heat because it was comfortable. So, avoided most of the trouble until the last lap. So.
Well, buddy, great job. It is great to see you back out on track, and congratulations on the finish.
Thank you. Probably will be third. I don't know if, right now it's his second, but usually we have green-white checkers, so it probably should have been a third. I mean, if we went green, I would have been on the bottom. The car was destroyed. Literally, I was barely getting around the track right there, so.
Well, man, regardless,
got caught up in somebody else's melee, so.
I thought you caught a piece of it. Obviously a controversial finish, but...
Yeah, I got a big piece of it. I was looking head-on at the 7 when he spun across the track. Nowhere to go, so... I mean, other than that, I thank Jeff for the opportunity. I think XCAL, the web shop series, it's a great deal. It's fun to run in. Just, what a way to come back. I haven't raced in so long and have a good run. I'm happy with it. I'll take it. Led some laps, so... Competition's still tough. I mean, Bear's fast as hell, and Seams and all the JNS guys seem pretty fast, and it was a good, it was a good race. Overall, it was a solid race. No cautions till then, so. But it was fun. I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, great job tonight, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, bud.
Jim Johnson comes home in second, and for the first time all season long, we have a Seams in victory lane at Bristol. Ryan, a bit of a controversial finish, but man, you finally got a Seams to victory lane.
Sure did. I mean, the finish was, I thought we definitely had to have a green-white checker, but I was going to pit because I only had like a lap more than what it said, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to pit, and then I see Bear pit, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to stay out, and I thought I was still sitting second, but apparently I was first after that. But, I mean, I don't know what happened. iRacing, who knows?
Well, it was definitely interesting. You definitely had a bunch of speed tonight. You were obviously up there. You were running Lataro down easily. You were giving Matt a run for his money. You obviously had the speed, and the strategy played out perfectly, too.
It did, because I didn't... That last pit stop, I weren't positive I was going to make it, so I only took like 52 laps, and I checked, and I was 2 laps under, so I started saving. Just thinking, like, oh man, I'm not going to make it, and I want to finish second, and then I see that the car behind me, he was falling off, and I was saving, so I'm like, oh, I got time, and then the caution come out, but yeah, I had a really fast car. Like, towards the end, it started getting loose, those last few pit stops, but other than that, it was flying.
Well, buddy, congratulations. Any team or sponsors or your whole fan club you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my fan club who watches every week, and Joe and Danielle for giving me the chance to race, and everybody else on the team for helping out with the setups and stuff, and the XCAL web shop, and my merch that we have on there.
Yeah,
and you, Doug, of course.
I appreciate it. I bet you there's some new merch coming very soon, too.
Hopefully.
Oh, great job tonight, man. You earned the Flying Ryan name, buddy. Great job.
Woo!
Obviously, Flying Ryan, very excited. A controversial finish. If we get some updates, we'll make sure to post them on Facebook. Make sure you're following us there. Don't forget to come back tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, the Nowski Nation Truck Series. Man, it's going to be a wild end to this season, the next 2 races. And next Tuesday night, we are back short track racing at Martinsville. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope everybody had as much fun as we did tonight. Have a great night, everybody.